Tristan is my elder brother from a reconstituted family. For him, I broke a egg. Since then, he has settled down for me, quitting smoking and drinking. Even his favorite car racing is no longer touched. Everyone says that I am so happy to get Tristan's unrestrained love. Later, I went to find him. He was drunk and hugged the person who broke my leg. His eyes full of pain. I didn't ask her to save me. She just broke a egg. But I have lost my beloved forever. Compared to bearing the pain of losing you, what does it matter if I bear a lifetime of infamy? As he wished, I disappeared from his world. Later, the president of Shu's group took a knife for me and begged humbly, "Can you come back to me now?" On the weekend, I went to rehabilitation. After getting ready, I was about to get in the car when Tristan's cell phone rang. He answered it, and his expression instantly froze after hearing the other party's voice. "Tristan, it's me, Cherry. I'm back in the country. Can you pick me up?" The hand he placed on my shoulder suddenly tightened. Word by word, he said coldly, "None of my business." Then he hung up neatly. I looked at my right leg in a daze. She's back in the country. Tristan squatted in front of my wheelchair. His eyes fell from my right leg to me, with tiny bits of heartache in his eyes. "Jesse, what she owes you, I will make her pay it back one by one. Now, shall we go to the hospital for rehabilitation first?" "Okay." Before we could get in the car, Tristan's cell phone rang again. He'd impatiently pressed it off. The other party called frequently, over and over again. Finally, he answered immediately, his face gloomy. "Cherry, do you want to die?" Tristan has always been gentle. I have been with him for 4 years and have never seen him like this. A strange feeling arose in my heart. Perhaps he is too angry. But after a long time sitting in the passenger seat, I didn't see Tristan get in the car. He stood outside the driver's door, staring at the phone screen without blinking. The air outside the window was cold and thin. I saw a bit of impatient restlessness in his eyes. After a while, he walked around to the passenger seat, looking a bit unnatural. "Jesse, I'm sorry. There is an important meeting temporarily. I can't accompany you to the hospital. I will ask the driver to come and send you." To be honest, at this juncture, it's hard for me not to think too much. "So," I asked jokingly, "you would always accompany me no matter how busy you were before? Could it be that you really went to pick up Cherry?" Tristan's expression froze for a moment, and then returned to normal. He knocked on my head as if punishing me. "Don't think nonsense. You know that she broke your leg. I only have hate for her." "I know. It doesn't matter if you were absent once." Perhaps it was because I got out of the car and sat alone in the wheelchair, looking so pitiful being blown by the suddenly cooled cold wind. Tristan suddenly leaned down and kissed my cold lips, and then put his coat on me. "I will pick you up after it's over. Wait for me." The black Bentley drove out of the villa. I didn't take back my sour eyes until it disappeared. After rehabilitation, it was already afternoon, and it was raining heavily. The cell phone was silent. No calls or messages. Tristan didn't come to pick me up. When I got home, I had a few bites of food simply and then washed up and went to sleep. I lay in bed, unable to sleep and tossing and turning. So I simply picked up my cell phone and sent him a message. "Brother, it hurts so much." After a while, Tristan replied with a very short sentence. "Sorry, the meeting hasn't ended. I bought you painkillers. Be good." My heart sank. A long time ago, painkillers had no effect on me. Tristan knew that. Moreover, he is very careful and knows that on such a cold and cloudy day, my leg will hurt. But today, he seems to have forgotten. Soon, I saw Cherry's Weibo. The person who hates me to death still remembers that I will have pain during my period and cooked brown sugar and ginger tea for me by hand. After so many years, the taste is still the same as before. There was a picture attached. The glass reflected a blurry figure. My face turned pale and my heart trembled. Whether it's Cherry's ambiguous words or that figure, they all point to one person. Tristan. But he clearly hates Cherry extremely. I turned off my cell phone. I can't tell whether it's my body that hurts more or my heart that hurts more. At the beginning, I never called out in pain in front of Tristan. I took painkillers every time. Later, painkillers didn't work anymore. Once, when the pain was unbearable, and I couldn't even complete the simple action of getting on the bed, and fell awkwardly on the ground. It was at this time that Tristan rushed in. The always calm and self-possessed face was filled with thick heartache. You don't know to say when it hurts? Jesse, I am your boyfriend. You can rely on me. If it weren't for Cherry, you wouldn't be like this. One day, brother will get justice for you, and make her suffer the same pain as you. Now, the person who said he would get justice for me is cooking brown sugar and ginger tea for the person who broke my leg. No, Tristan is not such a person. Perhaps it's Cherry who deliberately made me misunderstand and our relationship. Tristan is my elder brother from a reconstituted family. He is also the person I have had a crush on for many years. In high school, he and Cherry had a very ugly breakup. Cherry drove towards him. I pushed him away and broke my right leg for him. I can never stand up again. Cherry went abroad and the two completely broke off. Tristan has been taking care of me and accompanying me. In my sophomore year, Tristan, who was drunk, confessed to me. Jesse, having been your brother for so many years, this year, I don't want to be anymore. I don't know whether it's love or guilt that he has more. I only know that I couldn't restrain my throbbing heart and agreed. Before Cherry appeared, Tristan and I also had a very good relationship. He supported me at school, waited for me to go to and from school, and tutored me in my studies. He was special only to me. As long as he was around, I could be found within 10 meters. We were once so close, and we will definitely be very close in the future. He will fall in love with me. The past events came flooding back, and I fell asleep with memories as my pillow. Tristan didn't come back until late at night, bringing a chill. He kissed my forehead. I'm sorry. I was too busy today. I didn't pick you up. Tomorrow, I will accompany you well. Actually, I was awake, but there was a sweet and cloying perfume smell on him, which Cherry used to love. I ignored him, and didn't ask him. Even I myself couldn't tell whether I was afraid of the truth or the bloody cruelty after the truth. Early the next morning, Tristan prepared breakfast early. Jesse, today his phone rang again. What's the matter? How did you handle it? Why is she in the company? I know. I'll be there soon. After saying that, he picked up his coat and hurried out. Only when he was about to leave did he notice my existence. He came back, looking a bit unnatural, with an air of restlessness between his brows. Cherry ran to the company. When she goes crazy, no one can stop her. I'll deal with it and be back soon. I seemed to see Tristan, who was in love with Cherry in high school. With just one call from Cherry, he who had made an appointment with me would leave me behind. He looked doting and helpless. I'm sorry, Jesse. Kian is not like you. She is unruly and unreasonable. If I don't go, she will be angry again. The kind that can't be coaxed. For some reason, a panic rose in my heart. I immediately grabbed him. Don't go. Can the security deal with it? Tristan frowned. You were never willful before. After so many years, I was left behind again. Tristan, did you not notice how impatient you were when you rushed to the company? Will you really come back soon? 3 at noon. The store called. The racing car model I ordered 3 months ago had arrived. Tristan has loved racing cars and extreme sports since he was young. But after I broke a leg because of him, he gave up racing and never touched it again. Over the years, in order to make him happy, I have searched everywhere for various racing car models. After accumulating them, I filled an entire wall in his office. Tristan likes it very much and regards it as a treasure. The first thing I did when I got the racing car model was to call Tristan happily. I also wanted to test how the matter of Cherry was handled. He answered after a long time, his voice a bit hoarse. "What's up? Did you see the picture I sent you? Your favorite racing car model has arrived today. I went to pick it up. In fact, you don't have to work so hard to collect it for me. It's just a racing car model." Oh. Seeming to notice that something was wrong with my mood, he added a sentence. "Your leg is not convenient. When you give me a gift, of course I am very happy. But compared to gifts, the person I care more about is you. Now I'm fine on my own. I will be careful. By the way, is Cherry gone? She left long ago." After hanging up the phone, instead of feeling relieved, I became more anxious. Once the seed of doubt is planted, some thoughts can't be suppressed. I didn't go home. I went to Tristan's company. Tristan's office was in a mess. The racing car models on the wall were scattered on the ground in pieces. Some had wheels knocked off, and some had their hoods crushed. "What's going on?" The employees looked at the secretary with deep secrecy. The secretary looked very unnatural. Miss Lin came in the morning and had a quarrel with General Manager Zhu. She broke everything. General Manager Zhu should think that the models are dirty because Miss Lin touched them. He said, "Put them in the storage room." My fingers tight and suddenly. The palm didn't hurt, but the heart hurt so much that I couldn't breathe. I am very clear how much Tristan likes these models. He likes them so much that no one else is allowed to touch them. Without his permission, others can't get the key to open it. But now, Cherry not only touched them, but also broke them. "Where is General Manager Zhu?" The secretary looked at my right leg in the wheelchair with pity and said in a low voice. Miss Lin deliberately provoked General Manager Zhu. The two went to the racing track. At the suburban racing track, I sat in the position with the best view, closest to the track, and also the most concealed. I put my crutch aside and quietly watched the two racing cars chasing each other one after the other on the track. One black and one red. One is low-key and restrained, and the other is flamboyant and passionate. Even the cars are so matched. My eyes became sour. I looked up at the sky. It's so cold. Calculating. Tristan hasn't touched a racing car for 6 years. I know he likes it. When he gave it up for me at the beginning, I persuaded him many times. Every time he said, "Your leg was broken on the racing track. Jessie, how can I touch the steering wheel again?" But as soon as Cherry came back, she easily broke his taboo. What kind of magic does Cherry have? Just then, the red racing car suddenly stopped. Cherry got out of the car. The blue racing suit outlined her beautiful figure. She took off her helmet. Her long and curly hair hung down naturally, and her red lips were passionate. She curved her lips into a smile and rushed to the middle of the track. She closed her eyes and spread her arms towards the black racing car speeding towards her not far away. The black racing car suddenly turned and braked at the same time. The tires rubbed against the ground, emitting a series of sparks. The speed was too fast, and the car almost overturned. My heart was beating like a drum. I struggled to get up by supporting the armrest. The black racing cars stopped steadily. I heaved a sigh of relief. Tristan got out of the car. His face gloomy. He roughly pulled Cherry aside. His face was in a state of utter loss of control that I had never seen before. "Are you crazy?" His emotions were on the verge of collapse. There was extreme fear and trepidation in his eyes. "Tristan, you still love me." That was in the past. Tristan's voice was cold. "Fine. You hate me so much. I broke one of your fiancée's legs and made her sit in a wheelchair for 8 years. Now I'm right in front of you. Why don't you break one of my legs to compensate her? Do you think I don't want to kill you? Then come on." Cherry's lips curled up. Suddenly, she stood on tiptoe and kissed Tristan on the lips. Tristan stiffened all over and immediately pushed her away. Cherry staggered to steps. There was a blatant smile on her bright face. but tears welled up in her eyes, as if she would break at the slightest touch. I still love you. Chu Yang's eyes suddenly darkened. His Adam's apple bobbed. In the next second, he pulled her into his arms and kissed her forcefully. For that kiss lasted for a very long time. So long that they didn't even see that there was still me on the stands not far away. After recording the video, I walked out of the stadium calmly. Tristan didn't come back until midnight. He was wearing clothes I had never seen before. He was somewhat surprised. Why haven't you gone to sleep yet? I looked up at him. I met him in the first year of junior high school. Up to now, it has been more than 10 years. Even without love, Tristan and I are always family. The person I once loved passionately and thought was shining now looks completely different. However, I am so unwilling and even feel resentment. It's time to settle things between me and Cherry. She was a minor back then, and with her family's influence, the law couldn't do anything to her. Now that she's an adult, I can definitely send her to prison. Tristan was stunned. There was disbelief mixed in his gloomy expression. That strange and distant look in that instant was like a sharp blade stabbing deeply into my heart. I have a plan in mind for this matter. Don't get involved. You can't bear to. Right? Jesse. As if his mind had been exposed. Tristan's face instantly turned cold. Suing takes time. Moreover, this is an important time for the company. If I get involved in a lawsuit at this time, do you know how much impact it will have? And he glanced at me. His eyes cold. To be honest, the person you should hate the most is me. We both know what happened back then. Cherry didn't want to hit you. It was you who rushed out. I won't come back tonight. Think about it carefully by yourself. I sat in the dim living room. The temperature on my body gradually cooled down. Yes, it was me who rushed out on my own. It was me who saved him on my own. I don't know how long I sat there. I received a bar address. Without guessing, I knew who sent it to me. I went. When I entered in a wheelchair, many people in the bar looked at me with strange eyes. I was already used to it. Before long, I found Tristan and, in his arms, Cherry. Tristan held Cherry tightly, and the kiss gradually deepened. After a long time, he finally let her go. Cherry's eyes were charming, and she was panting slightly. Mr. Chu, you have a Fei Yang key. Kissing me like this isn't good. Is it? Besides, she saved you and sat in a wheelchair for 6 years for you. As if it had triggered the pain that Tristan had suppressed for many years. His eyes were filled with deep pain. Why not be crazy for you once? No one stipulates that my life must be so orderly. Besides, I didn't ask her to save me. We were having a lover's quarrel. She had to rush out and interfere. She just broke a leg. But I lost my beloved forever. It seems that if I don't be with her, I am ungrateful. But compared to bearing the pain of losing you, what does it matter if I bear the condemnation for a lifetime? 5. How ridiculous. Obviously, he was the one who confessed to me. I didn't force him to be with me just because I broke a leg for him. Apart from being lovers, he is also my only relative. Since you are so aggrieved, then let's break up. Tristan suddenly turned to look at me, his expression showing a moment of panic. Jesse. I opened my phone and showed him the video I took at the stadium. If I hadn't found out by myself, how long were you going to hide it from me? Tristan's eyes moved slightly, and there was guilt in his eyes. Now that you know, I won't hide it from you anymore. Jesse. I have always regarded you as my younger sister. I was before, and I will be in the future. Sorry, Jesse. Tristan and I didn't mean it. We were together in high school. Later, we were separated for several years due to changes. Now that we meet again, it's hard to control. Enough. I interrupted Cherry's words and didn't look at the smugness in her eyes. I don't want to hear anything about your affairs at all. Isn't it just breaking up? Let's break up. Sorry. Jesse. I'm sorry for you. I didn't want to cry. It's not worth it. But I just can't help it. Tears just can't stop flowing. I pushed the wheelchair and walked out. Tristan, however, held the handle tightly and wouldn't let me leave. There are too many people. I'll take you out. No need. I'll take you to the door. Miss Zhang. If you don't mind. Would you like to go out with me? Suddenly, a clear and gentle male voice came. The man in a suit and leather shoes stood in front of and to the left of me, with a handsome face. Sean? Sean, the only son of the Z family, a child of privilege born with a silver spoon in his mouth. Unlike Tristan, Sean was naughty and rebellious when he was at school. He played with everything and made friends with everyone, without any taboos. Later, when he took over the company, his temperament became more stable and restrained. But deep down he was still a bit crazy. Sean and Tristan are in the same grade and have known each other since childhood. Their relationship was not very good before, but they still had contacts. Later, I don't know when, except in business, the two of them completely lost their personal friendship. I really don't want to face Tristan. So, I reached out and grabbed Sean's sleeve. Thank you. Sean looked down and took the wheelchair from Tristan. Goodbye, Mr. Chu. Jesse. Tristan. Cherry stood behind him. Her eyes blurred. I have a headache. Tristan immediately let go and went to support Cherry. Out of the bar, a cold wind blew, and Sean took off his suit jacket and put it on me. I'll go and drive. Wait for me here. The night was cold and silent, and tears fell drop by drop. I have been with him for 4 years, while he and Cherry have been together for less than a year. I always thought that sincerity can be exchanged for sincerity, and we would have a beautiful future and form a happy family. Unfortunately, it was all just what I thought. 6. The car drove into the city, and the streets on both sides were familiar. Let me off in front. Sean didn't stop the car. Instead, he turned a corner. If you don't want to go home, come with me. I turned to look at him. His eyes were filled with fragmented light. I have an empty villa by the lake. I won't let you live there for free. My company has a new game project. I have seen your manuscripts from college. Are you interested in helping me draw a main scene? How long can I stay if I help you draw? As long as you want. Deal. I didn't expect that Sean's house by the lake was a villa. He leaned against the doorframe. With the boundless night behind him, I will come and stay occasionally. Do you mind? No. I don't. Originally. My job doesn't require me to go out often. Sean can't have the same schedule as me. Sleeping at 1 or 2 o'clock and getting up at 11 or 12 o'clock. Besides, the house is so big. Under the same roof. I'm afraid we won't often meet. After tiddying up, it was already very late. Perhaps because of the new environment, I suffered from insomnia. I took out my phone and deleted the memories between me and Tristan bit by bit. It was also at this time that I found that there was an account that had been frequently visiting me. Out of curiosity, I clicked on it. The latest one was posted 10 minutes ago. In the photo, the hands of a boy and a girl were overlapping. On the back of the boy's hand, there was a very small mole, exactly the same as the one on Tristan's hand. He is really fierce. But this can be regarded as a reward for his frequent flights to find me these years. The photos of flying back and forth between the two places accumulated into a thick book. The same person. The same place. Different times. It turns out that Tristan has never let go of her. I was distressed by his frequent business trips. Unexpectedly, his so-called business trips were actually him going to find his ex-girlfriend behind my back. At this moment, I suddenly felt that my waiting and longing in the late nights were like a joke. What am I? I am nothing. Really. It hurts so much. The next day, I went back to pack my things. This house here was bought by Uncle Zhu for Tristan. For the convenience of taking care of me. I moved out of the old house and lived here when I was in college. In the early years, I made a down payment on a house. It was only delivered this year and hasn't been decorated yet. So I have been living here. I just didn't expect that Cherry would move so quickly. She asked someone to dig up the roses I planted in the garden and the osmanthus tree. According to her own preferences. She bought the furniture she liked. She even took out my manuscripts in the storeroom and piled them on the ground. She smiled smugly. It's just right that you're back. See if you still want these things. If not, I'll ask someone to clean them up. After all, it's quite space-consuming to leave them there. I will move my things myself. You don't need to worry. Early this morning, I called Auntie to help me pack my things. I don't have too many things. By now, everything has been sorted out. When I came, Sean asked his driver to send me here. After moving all the things, when I was about to leave, Cherry called out to me. Jessie, people should have self-awareness. You don't have the surname Zhu. The Zhu family has raised you for so many years. It's already good. Don't cling to Tristan in the name of a sister anymore. Tristan said that he will always stand by my side. Even if I hit you again, you will always be the one who is left behind. Haven't you noticed? You are just a touchstone that can be thrown away at any time in the relationship between me and Tristan. My nails dug into the palm of my hand, and it hurt terribly. I looked at her with a smile. Then I wish you a speedy marriage. 7 on the way. Tristan called. Jessie, I'm sorry for you. I said that place is your home and always will be. You don't have to move out. So are you planning to let your ex-girlfriend and current girlfriend live with you? Or, when you are being intimate with your current girlfriend, do you need me, your ex-girlfriend, to cheer you on? Tristan was at a loss for words, and seemed to think it was not appropriate either. Don't speak so harshly. Forget it. Where did you go last night? I have a house in the city center. You can stay there first. No need. Jessie, can you stop being so willful? Your foot isn't healed. Where are you going alone? How are you going to live? Even if you can't be, you're still my sister. A long time ago, I didn't want to be your sister because I've always liked you. Now I don't want to be your sister because I never want to have any relationship with you again. I hung up the phone and blacklisted him and Cherry. I remembered an incident from high school. I had a very bad uncle. I was harassed by him and had an argument. It was he who protected me and took a knife from me. So, later, when I saw him and Cherry breaking up and his state was so bad that he was a completely different person from before, and even his exam ranking dropped by more than 100 places. Even when Cherry rushed over like crazy, I thought that he had protected me desperately before, and I should also protect him. But why was I the one who was abandoned? Obviously, I loved with all my might. Cherry and Tristan got back together high profile. Within 3 days, the news spread throughout the entire circle. The two reunited after a long separation. And their love was endless. They couldn't be separated even during working hours. So, Tristan simply changed his secretary who had been with him for many years and let Cherry join the company. I heard that Tristan dotes on her very much. He brings her to all kinds of meetings, big and small, and even allows her to play games on the side. Tristan also organized a gathering for Cherry, a reunion of old classmates. Everyone knows that their wedding is approaching. They started to play racing, go skydiving, skiing, and scuba diving. Cherry likes smoking and drinking. After she came back, Tristan changed his regular schedule and took her to various bars. A most high-profile thing is that Cherry likes a popular star. Tristan invested heavily in the film and television industry and spent a lot of money to send Cherry in. Obviously, this is not an industry he is good at. I seem to see the Tristan who was with Cherry in high school. Tristan grew up in a wealthy family and had a noble upbringing. Unlike those second-generation heirs who only know how to have fun, Tristan knows how to have fun. But he has never neglected his business. He has good grades, is good-looking, and is excellent in piano, horsemanship, and archery. He has a good reputation in the circle. So, He got a title. Chu Yang Zai in the sky. But later, after he was with Cherry, he became like a different person. Cherry has a flamboyant personality, and is willful and refuses to admit defeat. When they are in love, it is magnificent. When they fight, it is earth-shattering. For Cherry, he skipped classes, fought, smoked, and drank, squandering his youth recklessly. I think youth should not be squandered. I always wanted to wake him up. But I forgot that they always have the capital to squander. The day Cherry found out that I had a crush on Zhu Yang, she blocked me in the corridor. There was a contemptuous smile on her face. Just you? A good student who doesn't even dare to skip classes. Dare to kiss Tristan in public? No. I can. Not only that, I can also give up the college entrance examination for him. Jessie, can you? Wish you happiness. Even now, I can't be like Cherry, unrestrained, as if no one else is around, and even give up my future to fall in love with Tristan. I have been with him for 4 years and have gone to his company many times, but as a layman, I never interfere with anything of his according to my own preferences. I also don't dare to indulge with him day and night. There is no way I can accompany him to do what he loves. Perhaps it is precisely because of this that I am not interesting enough, bold enough, or open enough, so Tristan doesn't like me. But these emotions gradually disappeared after I left Tristan. I thought it would be very difficult. But when I threw myself into the designed rafts, the pain he brought me didn't seem so sharp anymore, and I gradually returned to normal life. 9. I heard about Tristan and Cherry again from Sean. The two had a fight. Cherry drank too much and was hospitalized due to gastric bleeding. Tristan stayed by her side all night. He had an important deal the next day. The other party flew over from Hong Kong especially, and only gave him 2 hours. As a result, Cherry refused to let him leave and insisted that he choose between work and his lover. Tristan broke his promise for her and let the company's vice president take over temporarily. The deal was lost, and Sean picked up a big bargain. I thought you would be unhappy that I took Tristan's deal. It's because he didn't grasp it himself. You didn't take it. Besides, why should I be unhappy? Okay. Then shall we celebrate? I thought for a moment. Went back to the room. Took my computer and came out. I've finished drawing the designed raft. Why don't you not be too happy too early? Take a look. Sean sat on the sofa, picked up the mouse, and reviewed the draft bit by bit. Since I met Sean, he has always been unruly and rebellious. He does everything casually. It's the first time I see him working seriously. It's a bit novel. I stared at him without blinking. Therefore, I didn't even notice that he had finished reviewing the designed raft. Sean's charming eyes looking at me were full of captivating smiles. Jessie, your eyes are about to stick to me. Looking at each other, I clearly saw small me with a flushed face in his eyes. This person is as bad as before. Can it be used? Do you need to change anything? I can't decide this alone. I'll give you an answer tomorrow. Okay. By the way, do you mind having one more friend later? No. I didn't expect that the friend Sean mentioned was a doctor. Listening to the conversation between the two, Dr. Lee just returned to the country, and he called him back, allegedly to give him a welcome, but in fact to see my leg. I was just thinking, when did you become so enthusiastic and insist that I come to your house? It turns out it's for your little girlfriend. Good job, Sean. You're tight-lipped enough. Dr. Lee, you are mistaken. I'm just his tenant. Dr. Lee was stunned for a while and nodded solemnly. I understand. I don't think he does. Forget it. I went back to get the list. Doctor it one by one. You are recovering well. There is still hope for you to stand up. Miss John can try to walk more and not rely too much on the wheelchair. On weekdays, you can also let a Jun massage you more, which is good for your recovery. In this way, I will be here on Friday. Ask Jun to accompany you when he has time. I will do a further detailed examination for you. We can talk in detail then. Thank you. Dr. Lee. Tense and strive. Lee said that. Sean has urged me as long as he is at home. Why are you so lazy? When you finish drawing the manuscript, get up and walk. I'll accompany you. You won't fall. When I failed for the third time, I looked at Sean breathlessly and asked dejectedly. Will drive. Lee, comfort me for your sake? In fact, my leg. Jesse. Sean was rarely serious. Trust me. Okay. There is a convincing power in his eyes that instantly calms my restless emotions. I trust him. In fact, at the beginning, I also tried very hard to recover. But every time, I fell very embarrassingly. Not only me, but even Tristan gave up. He said, Jesse, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you sit in a wheelchair all your life. I am here. But now, Sean, who has nothing to do with me, tells me that no one can accompany anyone for a lifetime. Instead of looking for a long-term reliance, it is better to find your own limit. An hour later, I went back to my room tiredly, washed up, and lay down on the bed. Perhaps the exercise intensity was too great. My leg hurt a little. After I put a pillow behind my waist, I massaged my leg bit by bit. Before long, Sean came. He had taken a bath. His hair was wet. Water droplets disappeared into the depths along his sharp Adam's apple. It has to be said that Sean really has a good appearance. No wonder. When he was in school, young Master C had a rebellious and perverse temper, with a temper like a dog. There were still girls rushing forward one after another. Why are you here now? Is there a problem with the manuscript? He stood at the door and stared at my actions. Does your leg hurt? Not too bad. Can I come in? Yes. Z sold the chair in front of the dressing table and moved it over. He sat by the bed and naturally massaged me. Tell me if it hurts. His palm was warm. The temperature spread all over my body through the thin pajama pants, giving me an electric shock. I was stunned for 3 seconds. I really wanted to pull my leg back. Unfortunately, I don't have this function yet. I can do it myself. It's not so troublesome. Moreover, I want to sleep. Go to sleep. Sean didn't stop his actions. If you don't massage well, your leg will hurt even more when you wake up tomorrow morning. But, Jesse, Sean glanced at me with interest. Can't you be shy? 11 on Friday. Sean accompanied me to the hospital. Dr. Lee said that I am in good condition. He suggested that I have another operation. The possibility of recovery is very high. Let me go back and think about it carefully. Sean had something to say to Drive. Lee, when I was sitting outside waiting for him, I received a call from Uncle Zhu. Uncle Zhu has been abroad all these years. Jesse, I already know everything about you and Tristan. Don't worry. Uncle only recognizes you as a daughter-in-law. Uncle will come back next month and will seek justice for you. In high school, Cherry was with Tristan. Cherry didn't like to study herself and led Tristan to ignore his studies. Later, there was an incident. Uncle Zhu has always had a bad impression of Cherry. Uncle, you can't force matters of the heart. It's impossible for me and him. Even if it's not a matter of the heart. You became like this for Tristan. Without love, is there no longer even family affection or basic human morality? He is sorry for you. Uncle will definitely give you an explanation. I heard that you didn't go back to the old house. Where are you living now? Don't worry. Uncle Zhu. I have a place to live and have also found a job. After hanging up the phone, Cherry was standing right beside me. I was startled. Frowning. I wanted to stay away from her. Cherry blocked me. Going to complain? No wonder Uncle Zhu called a few days ago and scolded Tristan severely, and even gave me a check to leave him. Jesse. Is it interesting? Do you think that Tristan will love you like this? He didn't love you in the 6 years since I left. You should just give up. Cherry. Tristan hurried over and pulled Cherry away. This was the first time we met since I broke up with him. There was an indelible tiredness between his eyebrows. There were countless words in his eyes. But he only said one sentence, "Sorry." She didn't understand the situation. After saying that, he dragged Cherry and left. Wait. The two looked over at the same time. I looked at them calmly. I did like Tristan before. But that's all in the past. I don't like him anymore. I didn't do such a thing as complaining. And I disdained to do it. Tristan was stunned. Also, haven't you looked for the reasons within yourself as to why Uncle Zhu doesn't like you? Didn't your boyfriend tell you that when you two were together in high school, Uncle Zhu didn't like it at all? Cherry's face changed on the spot. Jessie. Jessie. What do you mean? Do you regret it? Tristan had no intention of comforting her at all. Instead, he had a somewhat self-destructive look. Yes. I fucking regret it. Okay? I can't afford to play along anymore. Okay? He turned and left. Cherry held on to him and refused to let go, trembling with anger. Did that bitch Jessie say something to you? How can this be related to me? I held back the urge to go in and beat someone up. Tristan sneered. His expression was irritable. She didn't say anything to me. I just think that because of you missing her, I am a total idiot. Tristan. Say that again if you have the guts. Let's break up. Cherry. You will regret this. I really didn't want to see the two of them at this juncture and cause a new round of turmoil. I called Uncle Zhu and said I would visit another day, and then went back. When I got home, Sean was also there. Okay. I'll ask her. He hung up the phone and was somewhat surprised. Why did you come back so soon? There were two unexpected guests. I'll go another day. He shook his phone. A few childhood friends want to get together. Are you interested in going with me? It's your private gathering. Isn't it inappropriate for me to go? It's not very private. Everyone brings a friend. Okay. When we arrived, Sean pushed me in. Actually, I've been very effective in rehabilitation these days. With a crutch, I can walk completely on my own. But in this kind of occasion, I just can't get over this psychological hurdle. I think the crutch is clumsy and ugly. I think other people's gazes will always be on my strange walking posture. When I entered, the originally lively private room immediately became quiet. The young men and women fell silent and stared at me without blinking. I know their reaction all too well. In the past, Tristan would also take me to meet friends. Although they didn't say anything on the surface, they would always talk behind my back. Their gazes at me also carried a bit of pity and contempt. Over time, I didn't want to go, and Tristan didn't mention it again. Later on, I became more and more quiet. Except for a few close friends. I basically had no social life and didn't want to go out. I felt extremely uncomfortable. I turned to look at Sean. His distinct knuckles rested on my shoulder. He hooked his lips lazily. That's enough. If you scare people away, you are responsible. Only then did a group of people come to their senses and hurriedly got up to give way. Sister-in-law. Sit here. No. Sit here. It's spacious here. Sister-in-law. Do you drink? Sister-in-law. I'll order a song for you. What do you want to sing? A group of people were in a flurry. I was even more at a loss. Blushing, I reminded in a low voice. Don't let them shout randomly. Sean leaned over. What? He was so close that I could smell the fresh woody scent on him. With a group of people staring at me, I was really embarrassed to repeat it again. I gave up struggling. Nothing. Laughter escaped from Sean's throat, and the corners of his lips also curved up. Don't be afraid. They are all good friends. After getting along, his friends are indeed very nice. Straightforward yet polite. Moreover, they didn't mind me sitting in a wheelchair at all. Halfway through, I went to the bathroom. When I came out, 2 girls were washing their hands at the sink. When they saw me, their expressions were a bit strange. It's you, right? Shameless mistress. So disgusting. As a disabled person, what face do you have to break up others? Why don't you just die? I was splashed all over with water, and was completely soaked. When Sean came over, what he saw was me in such a miserable state. His face instantly darkened. He took off his clothes and draped them over me. Who did this? He called the manager. The manager trembled. It's our mistake at work. I'll immediately have someone investigate the surveillance. We will definitely give Miss Zhang an explanation. Only then did Sean's expression soften a lot. I'll take you home first. Okay. On the way. I figured out the whole story. Tristan and Cherry broke up. Moreover, he was very resolute this time. Cherry couldn't get back together after begging. She spilled all the dirty water on me. She sold miserably online, sought sympathy, and induced netizens to scold me. She even photoshopped a morning portrait. The ones I met just now were Cherry's brainless fans. Sometimes I really find it very strange. Clearly it was she who did something wrong. Why is she so unscrupulous and full of confidence? Sean, can your company's public relations team help me repost something? Send it to me. I took out the surveillance video that I had obtained long ago when Cherry hit me with her car, as well as a short essay I wrote about my relationship with Tristan and the whole story of the 3 of us, and posted it all online. When I got home and changed my clothes and came down, Sean had also finished his call. Are you okay? There was unconcealed worry in his eyes. Just ignore the words on the internet. With me here, I won't let things get too out of hand. I'm not afraid. I looked up at him. I'm not wrong. 14. Sean's public relations team is very efficient. Moreover, the surveillance video is very clear. The online public opinion instantly reversed. No way. How dare this sister? Asking for evidence and getting it. Putting aside other things. Just the surveillance video of her hitting someone is enough to send her in. Laughing to death. She became popular in the morning, and her house collapsed in the afternoon. With this, she still dares to enter the entertainment industry? Where's her brain? This sister uses her own experience to tell us that if one is stupid, one should read more books. I have a clear chain of evidence in my hand, coupled with witnesses. The case was handled quickly. Cherry was soon taken away. On the day she was taken away, Tristan also came. Ironically, he is also one of the witnesses. A long overdue promise has finally been fulfilled today. Sorry. I didn't know she would be so excessive. I didn't understand her. I misjudged her. Jessie, I owe you an apology. As early as many years ago, there were already signs. It was he who selectively ignored them. Now what else can he say? Actually, I really don't want to hear him say these things. I also don't want to have too much interaction with him. I even feel a little annoyed. Therefore, I frowned and said, sorry. Someone is waiting for me. Sean has worried a lot about my affairs. He didn't say it, but I know that he has stayed up late a lot these days. Tristan followed my line of sight. Sean was standing not far away waiting for me. He was stunned for a moment, and his eyes had an ambiguous meaning. You and Sean are together? 15. I didn't answer him. When Sean came over, I stared at his hair. Lower your head. Sean didn't know why, but he still lowered his head. I reached out and removed a tree leaf from his hair. Standing in the wind. Aren't you cold? I was a little cold just now, but now I'm not cold anymore. Sean had a smile on his face. He seemed to be in a good mood and actually cooked when we got home. There were 3 dishes and 1 soup that were light and delicious. We also had a little wine. This time, I really thank you. No, I've always thanked you. If you need manuscripts, just ask me. I'll draw for you and won't charge you. I don't have a good alcohol tolerance. Coupled with my leg problem, I don't drink much. This time I only had a small glass. But I didn't expect the after effect to be so strong. Just thank you like this? Sean's tone was full of regret. Isn't there a more special thank you gift? After drinking, my mind was sluggish. When Sean sat next to me, I didn't think there was anything wrong. What's special? His distinct knuckled fingers hooked my hair, and there was a smile in his eyes. For example, promise yourself to me? I looked at him with wide eyes. Tonight? Sean's expression was rarely stiff, and his earlobes turned red. There's no need to be so fast. I stared at his handsome face for a while and suddenly said, why didn't I find out before that you are more handsome than Tristan? It's not too late to find out now. Sean, do you like me? Sean's smile on his face gradually faded. He stared at me for a long time. His eyes were red at the end, and his voice trembled a little. Finally found out. I like you too. Then, let me touch your abdominal muscles first? Almost instantly, Sean's eyes completely darkened, and even his breathing became heavier. A shadow fell in front of me, and his kiss fell unexpectedly. After a long time, he released me and lifted the hem of his clothes. Don't be polite. 16 When I woke up the next day, I wasn't in my own bedroom. I woke up in Sean's room. The black, white, and gray minimalist tones. And things were very neat. I remembered my heroic act last night, and my face gradually turned red. I hugged the quilt. The strange yet familiar smell overlapped with that on Sean. I hurriedly threw it away. Just then, the bathroom door opened. Sean was only wrapped in a towel all over his body and stood by the bed like this. Awake? It was too close. My breathing became lighter. Yes. Taking a cold shower early in the morning. Aren't you cold? Originally, it was a topic to ease the embarrassment. As soon as I said it, I wished I could dig a hole and crawl in. I forced a smile twice. I'll go wash up. Before I could get out of bed, Sean suddenly squatted in front of me, looking cliff-headed. You're sober. Let's settle the score. He casually pointed to several places on his body. How do we settle it? I was shocked. Don't talk nonsense. I just touched your abdominal muscles. I didn't touch other places. After saying that, I bumped into a pair of sly eyes. Someone smiled meaningfully. You didn't lose your memory. His voice was pleasant and he deliberately softened it. My earlobes turned red completely. But I still nodded boldly. I didn't lose my memory and I don't regret it. Got it. Girlfriend. 17 days flew by. And my leg recovered well. I had an operation in the middle. When I fully recovered, I no longer needed a wheelchair or crutches at all. However, on the day I stood up, Sean went on a business trip to the neighboring city. I went to the airport to pick him up. I didn't expect to meet Tristan. He stared at me, unable to hide the shock and joy in his eyes. Your leg is better? That's great. Jesse. That's great. After saying that, he came over to hug me. I took a step back to avoid him. Sorry. I still have something to do. I'll leave first. Tristan's smile froze on his face. He seemed to want to see other emotions on my face. Unfortunately, he failed. Are you here to pick someone up? Thinking of Sean, I had a smile in my eyes. Yes. I'm here to pick up my boyfriend. As soon as I finished speaking, not far away, I saw Sean coming out. I waved to him and didn't greet Tristan. I ran over. You're out? I've been waiting for you for a long time. Why don't you talk? Sean stared at me without blinking. His expression was even more nervous than mine before. Do you feel uncomfortable anywhere? I spun around in front of him. My voice cheerful. No. Not at all. I feel like I can run 800 meters now, without any problem. That's right. I said it long ago. Trust me and you will be fine. Sean curled his lips. After a while, a touch of refreshing red appeared at the end of his eyes. He reached out and hugged me into his arms. his voice hoarse. These years. It must have been very hard. Right? Not too bad. He let me go. I stood on tiptoe and took the opportunity to kiss his lips. Sean. I like you so much. Sean's eyes darkened. He held me and kissed me back. Full of aggression. After the kiss, I remembered that Tristan might see us. But looking around, there was no sign of him anywhere. 18. A month later, Cherry's case finally had a result. Due to sufficient evidence, Cherry's case didn't drag on for long. Traffic accident crime. Intentional injury crime. Combined punishment for several crimes. She was sentenced to 5 years. She was not convinced and made a scene in court. She cursed the law for being unfair and also cursed Tristan. Put me in prison so that you two can be carefree outside. Right? Uncle Shu's disappointment and disgust were not concealed at all. Let's go. There's nothing to see. When we went out, the sunlight was just right. I stood and chatted with Uncle Shu. What did the doctor say? Will there be no problem in the future? It may hurt on rainy days. Other than that, there's no big problem. That's good. By the way, what are your plans with the Z boy? Are you going to get married? I looked at Sean, who was lazily leaning against the car waiting for me not far away. He looks lazy on the outside and seems uninterested in anything. Only after being together did I find out that he is a clingy person. This person has asked me several times indirectly about getting married. For fear that I don't have this plan. I nodded. Yes. But the time hasn't been set yet. Since Cherry's incident, I haven't seen Tristan again. I only heard about him occasionally. For Cherry, he went into unfamiliar fields and even pushed people into the entertainment industry. And with Cherry being imprisoned, his company has suffered a lot of losses. Many sure deals have also fallen through. I saw him again in the mall. After I picked out clothes for Sean and came out, I stood by the road and took a taxi. His car just drove out of the underground garage and stopped by the road. Get in. I'll take you back. No need. After my leg recovered, I quite like going out. Sometimes after finishing a designed raft on a whim, I run to the mall and then to a small roadside restaurant. Dad said that you two are going to get married soon. I looked at the dazzling ring on my hand. Soon. Tristan suddenly fell silent. Calculating the time. Sean will be off work soon. I made an appointment with him to have a meal. I have to go first. As soon as the words fell, a cold white flash of light flashed before my eyes. What I saw was Cherry's distorted and hideous face. And the scene where Tristan rushed over to push me away, and fell in a pool of blood. Cherry was scared silly, and stood there in a daze, staring at her blood-stained hands. I didn't mean to kill you. You rushed out on your own. Why? Why did you block it for her? If it weren't for her, we would still be together well. We wouldn't have come to this point. And I wouldn't have gone to prison. Get up. Cherry went crazy. Tristan, who was stabbed, was almost shaken to death by her. After I called the police and dialed 120, the mall security guards also came. With a few swift moves, they subdued the person and pinned her to the ground. Cherry was quickly taken away by the police. I followed the ambulance and went to the hospital. 2 hours later, Tristan came out after the operation. There is no life-threatening danger. However, the stab was a bit off. The patient's certain male characteristics are damaged. I didn't quite understand. Doctor, do you mean he can't have children? Not only that, I'm afraid he will also be powerless in sexual matters. I felt a bit complicated. After calling Uncle Shu, I saw more than a dozen missed calls from Sean. I sent him my location. Since he couldn't reach me by phone, he probably went to the mall to look for me. He should know what happened. He must be frantic. I quickly called back. I'm in the hospital. But I'm not injured. It's Tristan. He paused for a moment. Wait for me. During the waiting period, Tristan woke up. When he saw me, there was joy in his cloudy eyes. Fortunately, you're okay. Were you scared? By the way, where's Cherry? The two people who once loved madly only had resentment on their faces when mentioning each other again. She was taken away by the police. Sorry. If it weren't for me, you wouldn't have suffered this for no reason. It's all in the past. Besides, you just saved me. Jesse. Tristan's lips were pale. He tentatively asked carefully. Is there still any possibility for us? No possibility. The light in his eyes dimmed. He gave a self-deprecating smile. So, no matter how I tried to win you back, even if I took a knife for you and lie on the hospital bed, you won't feel sorry and won't turn back, right? I didn't answer. Jesse, you deserve better. It's me who doesn't deserve you. A long silence. Tristan finally remembered to ask about his condition. When did the doctor say I can be discharged? I hesitated whether to tell him what the doctor said. But soon, it was unnecessary. Uncle Zhu was originally in a meeting. When he heard the news, he hurried over. Seeing that Tristan was fine, his anger couldn't be suppressed. When you were in high school, I said that girl wasn't a good girl. But you didn't listen. Now it's good. You can't have children anymore. You may not even be a man. Tristan's face instantly turned as pale as paper. What does not being a man mean? Uncle Zhu also knew that these words were hurtful and remained silent without answering. So, there was a dead silence in his eyes. It's my retribution, right? I turned around and left the ward. Not long after, a hysterical roar of emotional breakdown came from inside. 3 months later, I agreed to Sean's proposal. That night, I received a share transfer document sent by Uncle Zhu, as well as a villa by the lake. He was at the airport, in a hurry to fly abroad. This is your engagement gift from Uncle. Uncle has something urgent abroad and can't get away. He can't attend in time. Uncle will definitely be there at your wedding. Jesse, don't refuse. When your mother left, Uncle promised to take good care of you. Who would have thought? Forget it. Don't mention it. As long as Uncle is alive for one day, the Zhu family will always be your home. By the way, when Uncle comes back next time, bring Sean home for a meal. Our family hasn't been together for a long time. Okay. I was planning to go back anyway. Aside from my matter with Tristan, Uncle Zhu is very kind to me. He has never been stingy with me in terms of food, clothing, housing and transportation. He is abroad all year round and will still remember me. He buys me gifts during festivals to make me happy. I can see that he is sincere to me. Uncle Zhu obviously breathed a sigh of relief. Good. 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 After I'm busy with this period, things here were almost done. I was also planning to shift the focus of my career back to China. When you have children, leave them to me and I'll help you take care of them. A month later, I took Sean back to the old house. Tristan was also there. He seemed like a different person. There was no longer the proud look of a dazzling and outstanding talent. Brother. I greeted him politely. Tristan stared at me for a long time. Is he good to you? Very good. That's good. He gave a self-deprecating smile. Jesse, there are some things I haven't told you. In junior high school, when you were harassed by your little uncle, and the person who saved you and had an argument with your little uncle and was stabbed and sent to the hospital was not me, but Sean. I was stunned on the spot. When I received your call at that time, Sean was also there. He was one step faster than me. And because of this, his family thought he had signs of puppy love and was afraid that his impulsive age would affect his studies. So they sent him abroad. It was at that time that Sean was forced by his family to change his major. Tristan's words kept repeating in my mind. I remembered that not long after I first lived in Sean's house, I once asked him about his dream when he was a teenager. Obviously it wasn't doing business. So why did it change later? What was his answer then? He said it was an accident. I asked him if he regretted it. He said that there is gain for every sacrifice. He sacrificed his dream, but got another bright moon. He never regretted it. When I found Sean, he had just finished drinking tea with Uncle Zhu and come out. I grabbed the hem of his clothes and lifted it up. Sean's eyelid twitched and he pressed my hand. Being naughty. So impatient? Let me see. My eyes turned red. Just one look. His smile faded, and he let me lift his clothes. On his left abdomen, there was a not very obvious scar. My trembling hand stroked it. Sean's body stiffened and his breathing became heavy. Did he tell you? Doing good deeds without leaving a name. Are you stupid? At that time, you had your mind on him. What's the use of me saying it? It would only add to your troubles. Sean's tone was light. Besides, at that time you didn't think I was a bad person. Even if I said it, you wouldn't believe me. I didn't. I looked up at him. I just thought that you played around and weren't a serious person. Sean was amused and angry. Spreading rumors about me. Let you check tonight if I play around or not. As it turns out, this person is not restrained at all. My leg hurts. Did you move? An hour later, Sean fished me out of the bathroom. Unexpectedly. In this matter, Tristan is quite a gentleman. I was extremely sleepy. I turned around and nestled in his arms. What? Said that you are full of treasures. I gave him a light kick. Am I a pig? Still full of treasures. He laughed and said something in my ear. I immediately woke up and my face turned completely red. Jesse, look out of the window. The moonlight outside the window was just right, spilling a soft white all over the ground. Sean's hand passed through my 10 fingers, and his voice was clear and gentle. I've held my bright moon.